Om Shanti and welcome. It's a pleasure for me to be able to share a little bit of my reflections about this topic. And I was giving a course of a master in a business school, and the title was this one, Mindful Leadership and Self-Management, and was for young people who have finished their studies, but they want a master. And of course, there were many other things, but one of them was this kind of capacity to observe themselves, no? And to be present and to be intentional also. So I think that nowadays, because there's so many things happening in the world, everywhere, but not only externally, but inside ourselves, also in our families, that is very important to be a leader of yourself, because the only way to be a leader of others is to be a leader of yourself first. And for that, you need to learn the art of being present, being the observer, being able to not to react all the time, but to respond, which is very different. And then also to be intentional, means to put an intention before you do things, not just do things automatically, like every day the same things, but every time you do something, but with intention. So let me read a story, short story, but indicates a little bit what I mean with these ideas. And the metaphor is the fire in the house. Imagine a house that suddenly catches fire. Smoke fills the rooms. People inside panic. Instinctively, they scream, run in all directions, some even rushing towards the fire, blinded by fear, not thinking clearly. They crash into furniture, lose their way, and make the situation worse without even realizing it. You know that this happens. This has happened many times when there is a fire. Sometimes I remember in Spain there was a fire in a tunnel, and people were shouting and crying and running, and they were running to the fire. So it was very difficult to help them. Now imagine that someone else in that same house, this person stops. Even though the smoke is thick and the heat is rising, they pause just for a moment. They don't freeze, they observe, they feel the fear, yes, but they don't become it. They look around, they locate the exit, they guide others to safely, not because they had less fear, but because they had more clarity. That's the difference between reaction and conscious response, between chaos and leadership. Most people run towards the flames of stress, conflict, and urgency without realizing it. The mindful leader pauses, breathes, sees clarity clearly, and then chooses. Because when there is inner fire, when this inner fire is calm, you can lead others out of any burning house. So I had a friend in the south of Spain when I was living there. He was a firefighter, you say here, firefighter. And we were talking about these things. And he said, oh, this is what we learn in our school. When there is a fire, first thing you have to do is to find a place where you can observe what is happening. So first thing is to pause, to find a stable space and to observe. Second thing is to see where is the exit and where is the fire. And then discern where I go, and then decide. No? And it seems so simple, but we forget that simplicity is one of the best qualities that we can use, and we complicate our lives many times. Instead of pausing, stop, observing, discerning, and deciding, we just rush and react, and then we create the chaos, and then we try to put everything right again, but then it's very difficult. I'm sure you have the experience that when you have a reaction and you say something that is not the right thing and the other person feels bad, then it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy to repair this reaction. So we commit many mistakes when we are not present, when we are not able to observe ourselves and observe what is happening and observe the other people. And this is why for me now, self-leadership, mindful leadership, not only for companies and organizations, but for our lives, is very important. So my brother and myself, we have written a book, but it's not in English, I'm sorry. It's in Spanish. And it's called The 8 Strategies to Self-Management and Self-Leadership. And I will talk about this, and I will explain, and then we will do some exercise and also some questions that you can have. But mindful leadership is about presence, is about intention, is about response and not reaction, and it's about clarity. And the only way to have clarity is to have a clarity inside yourself, see? Because it's a very direct relationship. What do you think? What do you say? And what do you do? So I work as a coach, so I have to listen for a long period of time to many people. And I can read, I would say, the thoughts that this person has, not because I have strange powers, but whatever they say is whatever they are thinking. And when a person is relaxed, you can manage and say something externally and look good, and it's not what is happening inside. But when the person is relaxed and start to talk in a very natural way, maybe complaining, maybe suffering, whatever, he's explaining what is in his mind. So you can understand what is in the mind by the words that this person speaks. So there is a connection. Okay? And the first step is in our mind. If we are able to manage the mind, if we are able to understand what is happening, then we are able to manage our words, and then we are able to manage our actions. But usually people don't think in this way, and they think, speak, and act in 1 second. This is a reaction. And then they suffer the consequences of that. But this is their normal life. Very few people are able to stop, to pause, and to observe themselves and to realize what is happening inside before speaking or before acting. So this is why the first step is to train your attention. Because they say, where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, life grows. And where life grows, this is the experience that you have in your life at that moment. So you create the experience according to where you put your attention. I repeat, where attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, life grows. And where life grows, this is the experience that you have. So the experience is not what is really happening, but is where you put your attention from what is happening. For example, there is a person in front of you. Where is your attention? Your attention can be in the weakness, no? Or in defects, or in the things that he's not saying or not doing. Or you can focus your attention in the qualities or the speciality. So the person is the same, he's speaking the same things, but your attention goes to one direction or to other. And the experience is completely different. If you connect with the defects, you will feel bad. If you connect with the qualities, you will feel good. The person is the same, situation is the same, but you put the attention in a different way, you see? So train the attention is very important. And for that, we need to understand what is attention. And attention is the capacity that we have to focus the energy of our mind in something. It means concentration also. Mm-hmm. So today, in today's world, we have a big challenge with that. Why? Phones. What happened with the phones? They pull our attention all the time. And this is the basis of marketing. It's not something bad. Well, it's normal. If I want you to buy a product that I have, I want your attention. And I will make a strategy for your attention to be in the place that I want to be. But the thing is that now everyone is pulling our attention. And we allow all of these things to pull our attention. This is a problem. And when our attention is constantly focused on different things, we lose the control of our attention. We lose the focus of our attention. And if we do this for a long period of time, I mean, not days, but hours, because the thing is that we are many days, but at the same time, many hours every day looking things, no? So we train our attention to be dispersed. And then nothing else works in the proper way because our attention goes to many directions. And they call in Spanish, I don't know in English, it's a trastorno de atención. It's a deficit of attention. And it's a problem. It's something that you can treat, no, with treatment. Mm-hmm. And the people who has this, they cannot stay in one, focus on one thing. Suddenly they are distracted by very little things because their attention is constantly moving to one place to another. And this is something new. Many people have this, especially young people, because they train themselves without knowing that they are training themselves to be dispersed, looking at the mobile too much. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is to train your attention. And to train your attention, you have several things to observe to train your attention. Mm-hmm. And observation is the way to train the attention. So you can first observe your body and put your attention if you feel some kind of tension, some kind of sensation. And it's very important also to feel that because many times your body is giving you a signal that something is happening before it will happen. You follow me? Hmm? But many people are completely disconnected from their body. Hmm? And then don't feel what is happening inside themselves physically. But then the second attention is to observe and to train yourself to observe your feelings. How do you feel? And I've done this exercise with many people, and some of them they have said, never in my life I've observed my feelings. I didn't know that I could observe my feelings. I was feeling something and doing it, reacting. But no, you can observe your feelings. And you can now, whilst I'm talking, observe your feelings. You don't need to look at any place. It's your attention, internal attention that goes inside and checks, how do I feel now? And it's not a judgment attitude. It's just observation. So the training is that to observe without judgment, just to realize how I feel. Maybe I feel bad, I feel good, I feel bored, I feel exhausted, whatever. And everything is okay. Because the thing is not to feel good all the time. The training is to observe how you feel. So the training is the observation, not how you feel, you see? And then next step is you can observe your thoughts. And this is another thing that many people say, it's not, you can observe my thoughts. Yes, you can observe your thoughts. And the people who have trained themselves to be the observer of their thoughts, they have changed many things in their lives. So this is the capacity we have to, to create a distance, healthy distance between you, the observer, and your thoughts. So you can observe your body, you can observe your feelings, you can observe your thoughts, and then you can observe what is happening around you. How is the people? What is happening? So it's an inner attention. You follow me? Yes? There is a capacity we have to be at the same time observing all these things together if we are trained. I can feel now my body whilst I'm talking to you. I can feel how I feel. I feel good. Yeah, I feel. And I can observe my thoughts. I'm thinking, but I'm speaking what I'm thinking. But at the same time, I'm observing you. My attention part is here. What is happening here? So you train yourself and your attention is under your control. And you are observing all these things. So you can manage all these things, you see? Because when you are aware of something, you can change something. The problem is the majority of people, they are not aware of it is happening in their body, in their heart, in their mind. And then whatever can happen. You cannot change anything because you are not aware of anything. So mindful leadership especially is about self-awareness. And self-awareness is to understand where you put your attention. And usually people put their attention outside and things that they can control. Is distracted. No, looking at the mobile, but also looking outside, looking at what the people they are doing, judging other people. So you don't have any control about that. So then you don't have control over yourself. So this is the first step. Second step is educate your mind. Attention goes to a place, and then the mind creates a story. Observe yourself, and you will see that it works like this. So I'm here like this, and then I look, for example, now this screen, and then my mind starts to think, oh, nice screen, so big. Oh, so many on the Zoom. Oh, and, and creates a story. If my attention doesn't go there, I'm not thinking about this. So attention is the first focus. Then the mind creates a story. So the thing is not to control the mind, to repress the mind. The thing is to educate your mind, which is very different. And what means educate? To teach the mind to have less thoughts, think slow, and have good thoughts. And usually now people think very fast. They have a lot of thoughts, and sometimes they are bad thoughts. So this drains your energy completely. So we need to understand that our thoughts, they have energy. And if we don't use properly the energy of our thoughts, we are exhausted at the end of the day. Many people say to me, oh, I finished the day exhausted. Sometimes they say, I'm dead. I've been battling all the day. But with whom? Not with other people. The battle is here. You think too much. You think too fast. You have many thoughts. You waste the energy of your thoughts thinking about many things that you are not doing anything with them. Sometimes I can, I see very clearly this in other people, as I said before, because they speak very fast. My daughter, for example, he's wonderful. He is 45 years old. So she has a business and she's very entrepreneur. No, she's very courageous and very good. I love it very, very much. But sometimes she talks so fast. It means she thinks so fast that I'm going to say, stop. I don't understand you. Stop, speak a little bit slowly. Oh, yes. But if I don't say this, she doesn't realize. But this way of speaking is the way of thinking. So sometimes she said to me, I'm so stressed. And I say, yes, you think too much. Think too much? Yes, you think too much. You don't need to think this, and that. Allow things to happen. Think what it's important to think. You follow me? Don't think about everything. And most of the people, they think about everything and they analyze everything. You say, why are you analyzing, I don't know, this person? Let this person be how it is. You don't need to think about this person. Or you don't need to think about the news. Listen to the news a little bit, not much, but don't think about the news all the time in your mind, because you cannot do anything with these thoughts. But now understand that you are wasting the energy of your thoughts if you think too much. And this is why you have to educate. And this is where meditation has a role to play. Teach your mind to think less. Teach your mind to think slow. And teach your mind to have good thoughts. And you will be surprised how much energy you create doing this. And this is not meditation, deep meditation. This is just training your mind, educating your mind. For example, let's do a short exercise. Very simple, but I like it very much. I will give you a thought. I will also repeat it in my mind. And I invite you just to repeat this thought slowly in your mind and hold this thought in your mind as much as you can without repeating it all the time, but just hold it and observe it. Not difficult. So, I'm at peace with myself. I am at peace with myself. And hold this thought. And if you feel that your mind wants to go to another direction, repeat it. I'm at peace with myself. And feel the thought. I am at peace with myself. And allow to have silence between the repetition of the same thought. I am at peace with myself. And now just repeat two words, more simple. Peace, silence. And allow space between these two words. Peace, space, silence, space, peace, space, silence. And observe if the mind wants to go to another direction. It's normal. Don't worry, but just observe. Realize if your mind wants to go, the mind doesn't need to go now anywhere. You are here. You are practicing an exercise. So why the mind goes? Because the mind is not well educated. This is the only thing. Okay, let's finish. What was the experience? What did you observe inside yourself? Everything is okay. This is an exercise of observation. It's not to do it well or to do it wrong. No, it's just about observation. And whatever you have observed is right. So anyone wants to share? Yes?
Felt some relief.
Some relief. You were able to sustain the thought and create a little bit of space of silence. Yes? Wonderful. And it's not so difficult, no? You smile.
Right now it's
No, exactly. Anyone else? How do I? Yes?
calm.
You felt really calm and you were able to sustain the thought?
Feel like sleep.
Good. And you have observed that between thought and thought, there are spaces of silence. So we are able to do this. We are able to keep the mind a little bit, not much, a little bit in silence. But this creates a lot of energy. This is the good thing. And usually what we do, we put one thought over the other thought. Not we have space, but we put the thought in the other thought and the other thought all together. You see? Anyone else? You want to share?
I was actually, I was like, in order to concentrate, I was like spelling out peace and silence in my mind. And then
Yes.
for the gaps, I was like doing dot, dot, dot. That's how I was trying to imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You work as IT or something like that?
No,
No, because it seems like good. But yes, this is your way of training your mind. But it was able. You were able to do it. No. Okay. Wonderful. The same. You were doing the same. Ah, you put dot dot dot. So you were influencing each other. Good. Someone else behind? You want to share? Or there? Or there? Yes.
It felt really good. It was easy,
Easy.
just the observation.
Wonderful. So this simple exercise is not about deep meditation, of course. It's a training of your mind, but it's very necessary for a good meditation. But you can do this anywhere, anytime. With just, I did it, I have done it many times, but many times means thousands of times in all the years that I'm practicing meditation. So while you are walking or in the bus or taking shower, what are you thinking? Because I say to many people, don't work while you're taking a shower because they don't pay you for that. So why are you working? Because people say to me, oh, I take shower and I think, why? Why you use your energy, your mental energy while you're taking a shower? Enjoy the shower. And at least say, I am a peaceful being. I'm enjoying, enjoy these moments because you cannot work at that moment. So you are using your mind in the wrong place, you see? So anywhere, anytime, you can stop a little bit in the bus, for example. I don't know if you take the bus here, not so much, no? But in Spain, you take the bus or take the train or the metro, no? For a long distance. So you can sit there and just instead of like everyone, no? Everyone is with these two fingers all the time. Or like this, like this. Sometimes I observe, no? And like this, and I observe what is watching, no? The other person. And it's wasting the time. It's nothing, nothing important, no? Like this, and then see something, doesn't like, then look for another thing, doesn't like, then gone round again. Then they remember something at WhatsApp, and then again to the videos. You say, wow, where is your mind? See? So you can do another exercise. Simple. You are there. You say, peace. Silence. And you train. It's a training. And the more you train, the more skillful you become. And it's not difficult. It's not easy. It's like this. It's training. And you can use these two words all the time because it's a training. It's not something that you need to think about. No, just practice. Practice. And then you will feel that your mind will slow down and you will feel more calm as you've expressed, no? And you will feel, and if you have problems to sleep, just practice this also. Because sometimes when we are having problems to sleep is because we are thinking too much. And we have some thoughts there running, no? Cycling, like this. So stop them with another thought. Peace. Yes, but peace. Yes, but I have silence. But peace. Silence. Peace. Because if you put a thought, you don't allow the other thoughts to come. This is the only way to change thoughts, to put another one. So with these two thoughts, you can stop the other thoughts. And sometimes you have to put a lot of energy to stop these cyclic thoughts that comes to your mind. You follow me, yeah? Sometimes happen to you? These thoughts? Yes, no? So, to educate your mind, your thoughts create your inner and outer world. Very important. Whatever you are thinking is creating the feelings and the energy that you have inside, but at the same time, it's spreading some vibration to the people who are outside you. So the third thing, decide the impact of your presence. Your energy affects everything around you. So when we understand where I put the attention, we understand how our thoughts work, then next step is to understand that whatever you're thinking and the energy that you are creating creates a frequency of vibration. And this vibration is affecting whatever is outside you. So if you work with a team, for example, before entering in the meeting, what energy are you creating inside yourself? Because this is the energy that you transmit to others. So be aware of your presence. People are not aware of their presence. They enter in a place and everyone is disturbed, stressed, and they say, why are you like this? They say, you like this, you have seen how you have come? You know? No. Do the contrary. Be very aware of your presence and create a powerful presence or peaceful presence, and realize that you are influencing others with your presence. 4 is learn to observe with detachment, especially about emotions. Learn to observe with detachment, especially your emotions. Sometimes emotions, but no, you have had this experience, pull your energy and pull you, and it's like you're not under your control. So the practice of being the detached observer is very practical. And is the exercise that we have done before. Just observe. When we observe, we are creating a distance between what we observe and the observer. When we don't observe, we are engaged. We are inside whatever we are seeing. But when we observe, it's like a little bit passive observation. You don't act, you don't analyze, you don't judge, just you observe. It's like you observe. We have not been trained in the art of observing. Not in the school, not at home, not in the university, not in the workplace. And we need to practice this because it's very useful in practical life. And it's the only way to observe your feelings and emotions when you are in a situation. And when you realize them and you observe them and you notice them, you can do something. You see? Before I learned to meditate, I was a very reactive person. I was very easily getting irritated. Not in a very bad way, normal way. Many of my friends were similar like me, and we were discussing very easily. So this was the normal thing, no? But when I start to meditate, I observe myself and I say, oh, I don't like this all the time to react and to want to win to the other, no, and discuss, and my opinion is better than yours. And I was strong, so I was winning the battle. But what means to win? To put down the other person. So there was not creating good relationships. But this was normal. I didn't realize that. No. So then I start to observe myself, and this doesn't happen in one day. It's not something that immediate. No, you train yourself to observe yourself, and then you know yourself better, and you realize things that are happening inside yourself that before you were not even aware of that. No? So I was observing myself, and I was observing that when I didn't like something, this reaction was immediately, very quickly, no, emerged. Maybe you have also this kind of reactions, no, sometimes. But observing and observing with attention, doing this exercise, I realize, this is why the body is also important. I realized that all this process started in my stomach. So the first signal was here, something. Oh, interesting. Second thing was in my chest. Pressure here. Next thing was here. Next thing was, and when it was out, no control. So I was observing that this was a process. So then I realized that if I am aware of the first signal in my stomach, and I breathe, observe, relax, and change this first signal, all the rest of the reaction was cut away. So I can have control. Many people said to me, when I'm about to react, what can I do? And I said, what can you do? I don't know. Shout or run or whatever. But when the energy is here, how can you control this energy? The thing is, control your energy when it's down, but not when it's here, you see? Because you have created this energy, and then it's very difficult. Then you repress yourself, no? And then it's dangerous, this to repress the energy. It will explode inside. There is explosion and there is implosion. And it's worse, the implosion, than the explosion. So don't repress yourself. This is not healthy. Do whatever, run or go to the park or whatever, but do something. But the best thing to do is observe yourself. Know yourself. Learn how you react. Where is the sign in your body? And this is not difficult to manage. With a little bit of breathing, with a little bit of good thoughts, and you can see and disappears. And then you say, wow, incredible. And this is not having a lot of control. It's just observing. Observing with detachment. And accepting that this is happening inside yourself, and have the patience to work on that, and it will finish with on time. No, it will take time, but you will be very happy to be able to manage your emotions in a better way. And even practicing this, sometimes it goes so quickly that you see boom, saying something, say, oh, again, okay, Enrique, doesn't matter. Continue your training. You will do better next time. So you have to be a good friend of yourself, and help yourself, and be a good companion. So this is to be the observer with detachment. And then not only to observe emotions, but to understand your emotions. And understand that there is an energy created inside yourself according to your thoughts. But you can use this energy in a proper way. You can use this energy in a constructive way instead of reacting in a bad way. So this is, again, observation, knowing yourself, understanding how is the process inside yourself. And the more you observe, the more self-aware you are, the more you can change yourself. And this is something for all your life. It's not something for 1 year or 2 years, it's for all your life. But when you enter in this kind of personal training, personal education, understanding yourself, at least for me, is very motivational. You know, I like it very much to know myself better and better and better and better. And always you can find something new. Always you can find something that you were not aware of that before, you know. And they say, there's a saying, it says, you don't need to be perfect. This is very difficult. But at least you need to know yourself. A leader doesn't need to be perfect. We have defects. We have things to change. But at least you need to know yourself as a leader. You need to know what is happening inside. You need to know how this emotional energy is created. You need to know the impact that you are having in others. So you need to observe also what is the face of others when you speak. I was not very aware of the impact of my words in others. And some people, they were saying to me, what you were saying was right, Enrique, but the way you said to me, wow, made me feel very bad. I say, how I did it? Yes, observe how you talk and how you say things. I say, oh. And then because it's so interesting, you it's very easy to see what others are doing and how they speak, but to realize how you are doing is not so easy, even if the people say to you something. So then I said to my brother is doing same things like me and in meditation, and I said to him, I give you the right to correct me and say to me when I ask you how I have speaking or spoken to people, no? So then in several meetings that he was also there, at the end, I was asking for feedback, no? Say, what do you think? Oh, Enrique, was good at the beginning, but then why you said this in this way? What I've said? Yes, you don't realize. No, no, I will make you a signal or something. But it was good, the middle of half the meeting, but then the rest was not good. And sometimes at the end, I said something that was not good, no? He said to me, oh, this meeting was perfect. Why you said this comment at the end? You're making it wrong. No, but you need someone to give you feedback because not always we are able to see ourselves. And even if other people say to us something, we don't see it, you know? I work as a coach, no? And I work with many managers and executives. And usually we give them, it's called 360 degrees feedback. Means that they receive feedback from the bosses, feedback from the peers, and feedback from the subordinates. No? So this is 360. And this report shows the self how they see themselves. I don't know in English how they say, and the impact they have in others. And we call gap when there is a big difference of how you see yourself and how others see yourself. You see? So sometimes there is a gap. And many times when they see that, they say, oh, no, this is not like this. There must be a mistake in this report. So our work as coaches is to say to them nicely, kindly, but very clearly, oh, no, it's not a mistake. This is the reality. For example, they say, no, I motivate my team. My team is really happy with me. We understand each other and I communicate very clearly with them. And then the report of the team. There is no good communication. We feel threatened sometimes. We don't like the reaction they have. It's not possible. This is wrong. The report is wrong. No, it's not wrong. So we call this moment aha moments, no? Because they say, aha, what is this? No? And we have to work and make them understand that the impact they have in others is not what they think that there is the impact. The impact is what the others say in reality, not what you think that you are having. No? So then there is a very nice opportunity to learn for them, because then they start to create this attitude of being the observer. And then they start to observe themselves in the meetings. And then they start to observe themselves, how they react. And then they change completely. And there is a big change. I remember one executive that now has bought a business, and how he's the owner of the business. But at that time, he was a very high level of executive in a big company. And the feedback was, imagine if there is 0 to 10, it was all 0. I never have seen one feedback like that, no? So when I saw that, I say, how can I now explain to this person this, no? That everyone has put a 0, no? Of everything, as complete 0. He was a very tough person, no? He was very clever, a lot of energy, but he was putting down everyone, no? So, well, I worked with him, and he realized, and he started to make a change. And he makes such a big change because he didn't want to be like that, that the people who were against him, because some people that were really angry with him in the way they were, they become their friends. And he was promoted. And he was becoming the CEO of the company in another country. So I said, you have to write this case because this is for me very useful from 0 to 10. And then he became the boss. No, he buy a company. And he still, sometimes he wrote to me and he said to me, no, oh, how good was this process of coaching that helped me so much in being able to see myself, to realize myself. And this doesn't mean that he never reacts anymore. No, he still reacts because his character is very strong, and he's a good leader, but sometimes the behavior is not so good. But now he knows. Now he knows himself better. Now he knows how to manage these emotions. And now he knows that he are creating sometimes a bad impact on others. So he can manage also this, or he can repair this. Before he was doing this without even noticing. This is the problem. Because when you notice, you can say, I'm sorry. Today I've spoken not right to you. So please, let me apologize for that. And people say, okay, don't worry. It's okay. But if I do this without even noticing, then people say, he's speaking all the time like this. He's, they don't like. Mm-hmm. Yes. So the last ones. Next is focus. Focus on what matters, means purpose, vision, and values. What is my purpose? What are my values? What are my principles? And this is the energy where you focus your attention and you prioritize what's important in your life or what's important in your work. And this is very important because sometimes leaders are, no focus. They do everything. They do all the time everything. They try to manage everything. Hey, stop. Again, stop. Reflect. Discern. And focus on what's important. No? Be aware of your intention. Very important. Because intention is the thought that you put before doing something. So maybe I have a conversation with you, difficult conversation, and I have to say something not good for you, but I have to do it because it's my job. So what is my intention? So before I prepare myself, my attitude, my internal attitude, my mental attitude, well, I will create the best wishes for you, the good wishes, the good energy. I will say this, yes, but I will, surrounded by good energy, so that what you receive are good energy, but the message is what I have to say. You see? So intention is very important in whatever you do. When I arrive home, what is my intention? When I start the day, what is my intention? When I finish the day, what is my intention? And intention guides your energy through the day. And the last one, this is a topic for another session, but is optimize your energy. Physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy needs to be balanced. So you need to be aware of the level of your energy. You need to be more aware of physical energy, when you need to rest, emotional energy, when you need to, to relax and to enjoy. Now I've observed, I don't know here, but in Spain, people in companies or organizations or working, they have become very serious. It's like work is serious. You have to be serious, everything. So they don't enjoy it. They don't laugh a little bit and don't make a little bit of, humor. Then it becomes very heavy, everything. Oh, there is very heavy, the energy. So humor, laughing, it's different energy. And you can manage your emotions in a different way. So this is very important to manage your emotional energy. And then your mental energy. You need to observe and to realize when you are exhausted in your mind. I don't know you, but because I am observing myself many times, sometimes if I've slept less and I have to work a lot, I feel that my brain, literally my brain, is not working properly. It's like bzz. Sometimes I bzz, 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 bzz. I can feel it. It's like it needs to reset, you know? I can work, of course, and I can talk and I can do things, but the computer is not working properly. And you know, when your computer is doing this, no, this little circle, no, what do? You press more buttons? No, you reset the computer. You know that if you press many buttons and do, you will make it work worse. But it's the same here. Bzz, bzz, bzz. And we make it work more and more and more, and I have to do more and more, and bzz, 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 bzz. And finally it makes like no, I don't know in English, but in Spanish they say mi mente está rayada. Rayada is you remember the old records that you put no? So sometimes they were tick, no, and they went I don't know how you say in English this, but the needle was not going in the right way. It was going no. How you say this? What is the name of skipping? Okay. So sometimes your brain is skipping and not working properly. So you need to be aware of that. What is the energy of my mind and my brain? And you need to stop, reset, pause, relax. Just use these two words: peace. Oh, wonderful. Silence. Oh, wonderful. Peace. Wonderful. Silence. Just like that. Reset your brain. And then spiritual energy. What is with what you connect internally? You need to have some higher purpose in life. You need to go a little bit deeper, and then you will connect with higher consciousness, your inner being. But most of the people don't do this practice, and they live very superficial lives. So, as are the times, we need to go deeper so that we can have deeper experiences and take more power, spiritual power, from the source, from our internal being, so that we can face then situations and life in a different way. Very good. I have talked a lot, so now, do you have any questions, any comments? What do you think about these 8 points? Silence. Anyone wants to share or to comment? Yes.
Sure. So, detach,
Observer.
observer. I always had a problem with in that it was, to me, a little counterintuitive,
Mm-hmm.
if you know what I mean.
Yes.
How could you always grapple with that? How could you be an observer?
Yes.
Because it's an active thing, but at the same time being detached.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that you, of course, alluded to and was making some progress. And I wasn't able to take some notes because I didn't want to show that I was distracted of my phone. So if you can elaborate a bit more on that, I would appreciate it.
Yes. Well, as I said before, the detached observer is the internal attitude of creating a healthy distance. And I say healthy because it's not a distance that you distance yourself from someone, something, or your job, whatever, in such a way that you are disconnected. No, you are there with a person, you are there in a situation, you are there in a meeting, you are there. But it's like you step back few steps, just a healthy distance, so that you don't receive the impact immediately, and you have the space to, as I said before, with the fire, no? you find a spot where you can observe, detached, observe, distance. And you can discern. Second aspect is to discern where I have to go, what could be my response. So you have, but this goes very fast. It's not that you create, no, it goes fast when you are trained. But you step back, so you don't react. First thing is to step back, observe, and this is the act of detachment. You create a healthy distance. And then you have the space to observe the situation and to see, discern. I say something, better I don't say, better I ask some questions. So what I do, discern, and then decide, yes, I will do the same. I will say something, or I will ask a question. No, on this situation, I will remain quiet. And you decide. And this is the action. And when you train yourself, this goes very fast. And then you don't need to think about all this process slowly. It happens. It happens that you create a distance, that you discern, and then you decide. But you can create this image of taking some steps back and create the distance. This is the detachment. Don't say anything immediately. Take distance a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't need to have physical distance. It's a internal distance. You see, you detach yourself. You disconnect a little bit of what the other person is saying, because what is the problem? That we put our attention in what the other person is saying, and we are connecting with the words, with the emotions, with everything from the other person. So we are connecting, and remember, where attention goes, your energy flows. Where energy flows, life grows. So if the other person is angry or upset, and you are connecting with them, and your attention is there, and the energy is there, and you are starting to synchronize your energy with his energy, well, you will react. But if you see the energy of the other person and you step back inside and you don't put attention to what he's saying, you put attention in your breathing, or you put attention in your mind, or you put attention in your body, and you see, ooh, I'm reacting. So instead of, you are listening, but instead of focusing your attention, what he's saying, no, oh, I'm reacting. He's touching me. Wow, I breathe. I think another thought, and then I respond. You see? It's not easy. It's not difficult. But it's a question of training yourself, as everything in life. In Spain, many people are studying English. They want to study English. More than half, they never finish. They say it's very difficult. It's not true, but they don't practice. Then it's difficult because you don't practice. But if you practice, it's not difficult. So anything in life, if you practice, becomes easy. If you don't practice, it's the most difficult thing in life because you don't know how to do it. So try to make your own way of distance, create this distance with the situation. You can do with easy situations first and see that you usually react immediately. So that this time you say, I will not react. I will observe myself. Let's see, and train. And we have every day many opportunities to do this. Every day, in a normal life, all the time, constantly, we have the possibility. Because all the time things are happening and they are pulling my attention and they're trying to trigger something in me. So you have all the time the opportunity, step back, breathe, observe, discern, decide.
So there are questions online.
Yes.
On the same lines, like when you're observing somebody from outside, so you can see that all the energy is coming from there. So the question here is how to correct the thoughts after the peace and silence. Feels like it works only when I say it aloud.
The words.
The
Instead
word
of thinking.
peace and silence it works
Only when
when you
you
speak out
speak
loud,
out.
and how to take it little internal and then
Mm.
manage.
Mm. Well, this is the question again of training, yes. And this is why I invite all of you. Who has done the course here? Meditation course of you? No? Yes? Both? The ones who have not done, I invite you to take the course, because now we don't have the time to explain all these things. But as every study, you need also some concepts, some ideas. So the ones who are also in the Zoom, I invite them to go a little bit deeper and try to understand more these things, because there is a need of more explanation, of course. And in the course, you will get all the information, how to understand better your mind, the impact of different kind of thoughts in your life, how to train your mind in a different way. So the course helps a lot to understand and to practice this. Mhm. Takes practice, nothing else.
So other question, maybe around the same lines,
Mhm.
how to increase self-management, or how to improve your self-management to have more inner power? How does self-management relates to inner power?
Mhm. Well, self-management, the management of the self. So you need to understand who you are. And this is another chapter that in the course you will learn. But in essence, the idea is to start to see yourself in a different way that you see with your eyes. In a sense that start to see yourself as a spiritual being, as a being of energy, as a conscious being, instead of being yourself, seeing yourself as a body. And when you are able to see yourself in this way and connect with your inner self, which is energy, which is pure consciousness, there is power. When you see yourself as a body, as an image, there is no power there. So the power comes when you connect your attention. This is a little bit more, not difficult, but more subtle. You need to connect your attention inside. Externally is easy. Attention in the hand, attention in the feet, attention in the breathing. This is easy because it's physical things. But attention in the subtle energy inside yourself, your inner being, is more subtle, more abstract. But you can do it also with practice. And then when you connect with this point inside yourself, there is power there. And this is a practice that I love to do it every day for almost 40 years. I continue to do it because you always discover something new. The practice is the same. Go inside, feel this energy, connect with your attention there, bring all your energy to this point in the middle of the forehead, and feel the subtle energy that is there, that is giving life to your body. This is the life force. And the more you practice, the more you experience the beauty of this energy. And there is power. But the next step is to connect with a higher source of energy, of consciousness, and then you receive much more power. But this, you will get more information if you take the course. Something else?
So the question is around, it is easy to take oneself, bring discipline in the physical sense.
Yes.
Say if you have to train for a marathon, you have to do these drills, this schedule, you have to show up and all of the stuff. So if you have to train the mind, there is not much visual feedback, or how do you build the similar discipline of your mind? How do you train your mind to build that strength, inner strength, and eventually build your power?
Yes, good question. And this is, for me, you need, and I explain these things in many seminars and workshops. I will put an example. The people from marketing, what what they do so that you buy a product. Create a need. What else? Demand. And in you, no? If I'm the marketing person, what I want from you, that you are interested in the product, no? So for your taking your interest, I need to give you the benefits, no? I have to give you, no, a view of what you will get with this product, and so many things. And when you are able to see all these things, you go, oh wow, yes, yes, where I can buy this thing, no? No, and this is very typical. So with the training of the mind, you need to do the same. You need to read or to see videos or to listen to a course or to listen to a person to understand what are the benefits, and then reflect on that. And you need to create interest, and you have to realize how important it is. This is what I've done with myself. And when people ask me now, what is your passion? No, in the companies, they always say, what is your passion? And I say, my passion is to understand better my mind. Huh? This is your passion? For them, it's a little bit strange, no? But this is my passion. I've created this training a passion. It means something that I'm very interested. Mm? And it's true that you don't see physically as a marathon, but for example, now I can observe my mind, and I'm happy that my mind is very quiet. And I can observe immediately when it's not so quiet and creates a not nice energy. So this is the feedback that we have to learn also, to observe our mind and to see the beauty of a peaceful mind. It's so, I have to tell you, and I've said this many times, the best experience in my life with a lot of difference is the peace in my mind. I've had many experiences in my life. I am an experienced person. I want to find experiences, sometimes bad experiences, but trying to understand life, sometimes good experiences. But the best experience with difference was when the first time I experienced peace in my mind, real peace, mind quiet, not for 1 second, but a little bit more space. What's this? What's this? Wonderful. So then I want to repeat it. I want more of this. And I'm not able to find this every day. Sometimes, but I have the interest of creating this experience longer in my life. And I'm practicing almost 40 years and still I'm interested. Because I say it's something that never finishes. A marathon or something like that, at certain ages, you have to finish because you cannot run more. But this, no. Even if your body is ill or you are becoming old or whatever, still the last moment you can train your mind, you can enjoy with your mind, you can create more peace in your mind, you can have beautiful experiences in your mind. And finally, the experience that you have inside is the experiences that you have in your life. It's not external, the experience is internal. When you realize this, the world changes because you are not looking outside for external satisfaction. You know that all the satisfaction is inside yourself. And this is a big change. For me, it was big, big, big change because I was looking outside for satisfaction in many ways, different ways, experiencing different ways. And then when I realized, this is, I don't know in English what you say, bloom, no, mind blooming, no, or something like that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When you were first experiencing the blossoming, right, of that you don't have to go external into the material world, what were the subtle moments like when you first started to see that and to experience in yourself? And I guess how did that build on itself? And what was, I know we're all different and we all have our own human experience, but what was the if you will, time frame? And I know it's not done, it's the tip of the iceberg and it goes, it keeps going, but what was kind of like the time frame, I guess, until you became more of like a coach in this, if you will? And it doesn't have to
Oh.
be exact or
Your
chronological.
question has many answers.
Definitely.
I would say that the thing is to start. It's like a journey. You have to start with the first step. You don't need to think how much time will it take to arrive there, because then you don't walk the path, you know. But you start and you enjoy the first step, second step, third step, then you enjoy walking, then you enjoy moving, then you enjoy, oh, we have run 1 kilometer. Oh, nice. But if you think too much about the final, you know, destination, then maybe you get tired. So it's not a question of time, it's a question of interest and constancy. Constant, every day a little bit, every day a little bit. And then you will see that even your brain starts to adapt. You know that the brain has this neuroplasticity, no? So the brain will start even to adapt to this practice, to this new understanding. And then you slowly, very subtle, very slow, but you will understand more and more and more and more. So the idea is that you create a daily practice of reflection, not only meditation. Meditation is wonderful, but also reflection, writing, you know, journaling. I did a lot of journaling to understand myself, because sometimes you cannot think to understand yourself. But if you write, it's different. It's so different. When you write, it's like you process more slowly the thoughts. And sometimes you write and you are surprised what are you writing and say, oh, it's interesting this. So it's very important also to write, to journaling and meditate. And then very important to have good conversation with people that maybe has more experience than you. You know, for me, conversation has been also a key point to go deeper, to understand better. And now it's very good because in YouTube, no, or whatever, in internet, you have so many possibilities to listen to good videos, no, good audios. That was not existing at my time. So I had to create this with personal conversations. I was, um, I would say, I was intentionally looking for people who can give me some kind of new ideas, new understanding. You see, it was not passive. Let's see if life brings me something. No, no, I was moving towards, because I felt a little bit. I get a taste of that and a taste of understanding. So I said, I want more. So then I moved myself. This was my journey, no? And well, still I'm here, and still I'm doing the same. When I see a person that has something interesting, I ask questions. I am interested. I listen almost every day, one lecture, audio, meditation, almost every day. Sometimes twice a day, I listen to something. I like to listen more than to read. I'm more listener. Everyone is different, no? Some people like more reading or seeing. I like to listen. I listen every day because every day I need more input, something inside, and it's a habit. So you have to create your way, your habit, your practice, but remember, constant, because constantly is the only way something changes really inside. Doesn't work if you do 8 hours one day and then 1 week nothing. Doesn't work. This is what people does. They are vipassana meditation 10 days. And they do this like marathon, like a tick. You say, I have done marathon, tick. New York marathon, tick. I've done vipassana meditation, tick. But then they do nothing more, and doesn't work. I met many people who have done this, and they continue to be exactly the same as before. 1 month, yes, 1 month and a half, 2 months, maybe it works. Then stop working. But people who work every day a little bit, every day, every day, consistency is key to learn something. And in meditation, more important. Yes.
Been meditating for 5 years now. And sometimes, so lately in the past 2 years, I've been able to calm my mind and reduce the noise. But every time, it's almost like I get a glimpse of the peace that you talk about. But every time I try to go further, I get this real headache right here, and I get this blockage, and I'm never able to really go deep.
Mm.
So I'm trying to understand that.
Well, sometimes, we have created without realizing a lot of tension inside, and especially in the brain. So when we meditate, we are releasing this tension. But sometimes the feeling or the experience is like pressure. People feel sometimes pressure here, others feel pressure here, you feel pressure there, no? So I would say continue, because it will go. But we don't know when. This is the thing. But the only thing is that if you continue, it will go. If you don't continue, it will not go. So, but it will go. I had this experience when I started also. Different, not like this, but in different also here. I had a pressure here and strange feeling here. And it took me 1 year to really feel release, no? Something emotional was stuck here, no? So meditation helps you to clean and to be free, but sometimes takes 1 year, sometimes takes more. But the good thing is that you will feel better and better and better and better. And one day, oh, now I feel much better. So the only way is to continue. Continue to practice. So let's have a practice, no? You have a question?
Just have a question.
Okay.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you so much for such a strong message. I also think that another dimension of just training your mind is also this attitude of gratitude, and
Yes.
then helping the mind to be connected with the inner qualities as well.
Yes.
You mentioned about observing and taking a step back and detaching from the emotion. But while you're doing that, whether you're stopping a reaction or stopping a mind goes into multiple directions of holding the past or worrying about the future. What does that journey look like after you observe and then control your mind to go in all these directions?
I don't understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, well,
In a sense, what is the journey? Do you mean when we have already conquered this going to the past and to the future?
I said the journey of yes, you're observing your thoughts,
Yes.
taking a step back,
Yes.
but then you're doing it for a certain reason. You don't want to react. You don't
Yes.
want your mind to go.
Yes.
So that is probably the outcome. But between that, observing your mind, and then the outcome, what is the next step?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say if you train yourself, this will become natural. Mm? So you will not need to control your reaction because you will not react in a natural way. This is what happened to me. I was not like this before. So for me, it was a big change. But one day, after practicing a lot of meditation, I found myself in a very violent situation. One person, well, I make the story very short without any explanation, but this person was very angry with me, very, very angry, and wanted to hit me, no? And I was surprised of myself. At other moment, I will, I will put myself, but I was absolutely relaxed. And I was seeing him wanting to hit me, and he couldn't touch me because I was so relaxed. I was not reacting. And I was observing myself not doing anything, but was the result of the practice. So I was surprised that the practice creates such a peaceful attitude that there is no process. You are just there. So I was very happy that day because I realized that meditation It's not only to control yourself, to make all this. We need to do this first. But then next step would be, it becomes natural. It becomes, you don't react and you are surprised about yourself, no? But I at that time, I practiced a lot, So it's not something immediate. It takes time, but life becomes much more easy and happy because you don't react. So I would say becomes natural peace and not reacting in a more natural.
Thank you.
But just to end and to finalize, if you take the course, you have taken the course, but you will see that there are many other aspects that are influencing your mind. It's not only meditation, but the way you eat, the way you behave, the way you relate with other people. So there are many things that are influencing your mind. So sometimes it's not only about meditation. You have to observe your life and see, for example, many people now look at series, no? Film series. This is very popular. So one day, one young guy in Spain, he said to me, "Oh, my mind is here and there," and I asked questions because I want to understand because, and he said finally, "Oh, to relax, I see series of terror series before going to sleep." And I say, "Well, then forget meditation. First, stop doing that. If you put in your mind before going to sleep a film of terror film that they kill people and all these things, how will be your mind? So sometimes people don't think about these things and think that meditation doesn't work. And I'm thinking, no, why it doesn't work? So I need to ask. And when I find out something and I say, okay, don't think about meditation first, change some habits that you have because we have influence from that. You see? So there are many things, but for today, I think it's enough. So let's have a meditation, a few minutes. Yes? Or you want to say something?
Yeah. As brother will conduct the meditation now, we also have an opportunity with him on Friday evening, this coming Friday, for a longer meditation and longer sharing. So this Friday, 6:30 p.m. Please check the Zoom if you are going to log on to Zoom. But the best experience will be in person. So thank you, brother.
Thank you.
And the meditation now.
So let's have a few minutes, short meditation because it's a little bit late, but let's have an experience. So we will do a little bit all this process. Find a comfortable posture, but at the same time, back straight, shoulders relaxed, and observe for a moment your breathing. Bring your attention to your breathing. Breathe natural, but allow your attention to follow your natural rhythm of your breathing. Observe the air going in and observe the air going out. And just be there. Say to yourself, I have nothing to do now, nothing to resolve, nothing to analyze. Just be here, present, breathing consciously. And now observe your feelings. Bring your attention to your feelings. How do you feel right now? And remember, you are an observer. You are not judging your feelings. You are not analyzing your feelings. Just observe the energy of your feelings inside yourself now. And describe it with your own words inside yourself. Observe, describe, be detached. And now go a little bit deeper and observe your thoughts. Allow the thoughts to come and allow the thoughts to go. Don't get engaged with your own thoughts. Just observe them. And now focus all your attention in a little point of light in the center of your forehead. Is a point of concentration, is a point of consciousness, is a tiny point of light. Bring your attention, focus your attention into this point. And now create a thought in your mind regarding this point. I am a conscious being. I am this tiny light, this tiny energy. Connect with this thought. Become this light. Become this little point of light for a moment, just for a moment. I am a conscious being. I am light. And just be there. Focused, concentrated, in silence. And now observe yourself again. How do you feel right now? And create a thought of gratitude, of being here and in this atmosphere, in this moment. Just a good thought inside yourself, in your mind, in your heart, a thought of gratitude. And take a deep breath and come back. Om Shanti. Very good. Nice to meet you all and hope to see you on Friday if you can come and continue to practice. This is a secret. Practice, practice, and practice. There is no other secret. Very good. Good night.